Morning, guys.
Morning.
So it's Saturday the 5th and we're just about to leave to go to the market. So we're going to Wycombe Wanderers and it's for the lifestyle show. So if you search it on like Instagram and Facebook, you'll find it. But it's in Buckinghamshire and we're selling brownies, blondies, cupcakes and cake pops. And I was up till 3 a.m. yesterday making it all. I did 2 whole days of making and I'm still up that late. And Sarah helped me as well, my sister helped me. But yeah, it was a lot of work. So I'll insert the clip that I just took of the car and what that looks like so that you can see what the situation is with that. So we have everything in the car. The brownies are in slabs in these 2 boxes. We'll cut them up when we're there. We've got kitchen roll trays, cake pops, cupcakes in there, everything. We've got 2 boxes of cupcakes in the kitchen, which we're gonna put on our laps, and then we've got boards and everything. We've got all our like admin-y kind of stuff in this box down here. So yeah, we will show you the setup when we get there. And then we've got 2 boxes in here, which we're gonna have on our laps. So I'm gonna turn you around and show you those. The 2 boxes, so we've got Colin the Caterpillar vanilla cupcakes, then we've got Biscoff, and then we've got some chocolate candy cane, and then there's chocolate and vanilla in the car already. So these are going to be on our laps. Then we've got some scarves, we've got sandwiches, because we might not be able to have a lunch break, depending on what the situation is. Then we've got masks, purse, my dad is cleaning the kitchen, and we're ready to go.
That's good, because it's in its snap.
Mum, I'm going to turn you around and show you our table.
Popular. You'd have to make a note of what doesn't sell very well.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously, you've done a load of.
Smile. We're halfway through everything. There's nothing left in the box. This is our setup underneath. We're gradually getting rid of trays. And those are our tasters. Just popping in to give you a bit of a reflection on the market. It is now Monday. I slept until 11 yesterday, Sunday, and then I had work, so I couldn't film anything then, and I was so tired after the market. And Saturday after the market I went to bed at 9 because I had 2 really late nights baking. One was like 3 a.m, one was 2 a.m, so I thought I would come back when I'm all refreshed and feeling a lot less tired, which I feel a lot better now. And I've got a few days off this week, and then I've got a cake later on this week, and then work at the weekend again. So there's going to be lots of content relating to the market. Today's is just going to be a review. I've had a couple of people asking what I packed, so that is going to be in tomorrow's video. I'm going to do a what I packed and like any essentials that you need to take with you. And then in the day after that, so Wednesday, I'm going to be doing a how it works, so like how you apply, anything that you need to know before you apply, so like you have to be a registered business, stuff like that, anything that you have to have in order to sell at a market. And then also any tips and tricks, things that I thought were essential, tips for like advertising, stuff like that. So today's video is just a reflection. So I'm going to start with kind of like the process of the day. So we got there in the morning. We actually got there later than everyone else, but we had kind of prepped everything because it was all food based. Everything was prepped, everything was wrapped up. We brought our own like trays for food, stuff like that. You would have seen that there were like separate trays for each individual items or like flavour. So we set all that up, and when we actually got there they said, oh my god, we've been waiting for you, because some people get there at like 8 a.m, but no one can come until 11. So we got there about 20 past 10 and we managed to set up in about 15-20 minutes, and then we started cutting up all the brownies. So we didn't want to cut them before because we thought it was easier to transport it, so we cut them up there, and honestly it was the best idea my mum had. It was way easier, and what we did is, because we had 2 of everything, like 2 brownie trays for each flavour, it meant that we could cut one tray and then have the other in a cool box. It wasn't actually filled with ice, it was just to store it because it was perfect size to fit a tray in, but we stored them in there, and then as they started to sell, we just got them out, and because it's sealed, it's like a good sealed container for them to be in. So we did that throughout the day, and then we sold probably most from 11 until 1. Then it slowed down a bit because of lunch, so a lot of people were stopping for food, and then it sped up again probably until about 2:30, and then 2:30 to 4 was a little quiet. We were getting like people coming and buying, but it wasn't as busy as earlier on in the day. There were times where me and my sister were like swamped, and there was, you know, like 8 people there, and we're serving 2 of them and she's serving 2 of them, and then there's obviously people waiting, so it was nice and busy. And I sold everything apart from 8 items, so I took about 300 items. Mixture of brownies, blondies, cupcakes, cake pops, as you would have seen, and we were left with 4 blondies and 4 cupcakes. So yeah, we did a little sale at the end, so there was a few bits left, probably maybe like 5 to 10 items more than we took home, so under 20 items left. And basically as soon as all of the customers had left, as a little kind of like nice gesture for the other sellers, we did a everything for £1. So the brownies and blondies were all £2.50, and so were the cupcakes, and then the cake pops were £1. So we did 2 cake pops for £1, and then everything else was £1. So then we had a lot of sellers coming up, getting the last few bits before we left, because we didn't really want to take that much home. So we did that, which was nice because they were really appreciative. They were like, oh my god, that's amazing, like thank you so much. And we said no worries, like we don't want to obviously take it home, and it's nice for you guys because you've been selling all day. So yeah, and it was really successful. Like I was so happy. My first ever market, like market selling food, and it was so successful. Like it was really good. It was really enjoyable as well. There was a lot of people that were asking about cakes, so a lot of people said like, do you deliver? I said I do wedding cakes as well, so I drive up to an hour for some of those. Like I've got one in a year and a half, in 2022, but I'm driving an hour away for that, so I'm happy to drive to deliver cakes. It's not that it's like collection only. Obviously I will charge a delivery cost for that, but yeah, it just makes it easier for people if they don't live in Aylesbury. So people were excited about that. People were asking about like Etsy postals. Sorry, I had to quickly get the door because we just had a delivery. But as I was saying, lots of people asking about my Etsy and sort of other things that I do. So it is a very good way to get yourself out there. I'll be honest, literally 2 weeks before, which is when I signed up for the event, I knew about it a couple of months ago, but it actually got postponed from, I think, October to December. They didn't have kind of like a set date, but they knew that they were definitely like postponing it. And I was sort of thinking, oh, is it going to be any good? Like, am I going to sell anything? And I actually said to my mum, I was like, if I make my money back that I spent, I will be happy. So this doesn't include my like hourly rate, because I don't really time that for this sort of thing. You can't really include your labour unless you're getting someone else to help you, like someone else that you have to actually pay. I wouldn't charge for my labour because I'm just making stuff, and everything's sold individually, so it's not like when you make a cake and you do your hourly rate for say 3 hours. It's slightly different to that. So I priced everything up individually, and then I did 2 days of baking, and I said, like, if I make up the amount that I spent on the stool, which was £100 for an outdoor stool, and then obviously places vary, but this one was 100, and then the cost of ingredients. So I had a few ingredients already, not too many, I had to buy quite a lot, but I probably spent overall about £70 on ingredients to make roughly 300 items, and that doesn't include all the boxes that I took. However, the things that I bought, so like food bags, they were like £5. Some like order books, which I mean I took 4, I did not need 4, I just took them for the sake of it, but I probably didn't even make it, I made it halfway through, probably 1. We were using 2, but we went through about 30 pages of each, and they're both 100-page books, so yeah, we didn't use much of those at all. That was more for tallying up, because we didn't want to rely on a calculator just in case you type it in wrong and then you end up charging someone wrong or like undercharging. So we wrote it all down, so we'd say like 2 times £2.50, and then we know that that is the right amount. But with like little bits like that, it would probably be another maybe like £15. So that's £185 roughly for costs, and I made just over 500, about 550 is what I made. I obviously want to be completely honest, I don't want to sort of like beat around the bush. I wanted to tell you guys what I made just because I feel like it's useful for you guys. So all I was left with was 8 items. They are priced at £2.50 each, so all that was left was £20 worth. So the max I would have made is about £5.70. There were a few bits that I wanted to make. I did want to make more than I did, but because of just being tired and not having the time, I didn't. I do think I could have started baking a day earlier, because the brownies and everything, because I didn't cut them until the day, they were so fresh. Like everyone was saying, they were melting in their mouths. Like we had a few tasters of the little testers that we made, and they were amazing. Like I'm not like blowing my own horn, but they were really good considering they were made on the Thursday and eaten on the Saturday. I always make stuff either on the day or the day before when I'm doing orders, but this is more in advance. So you can keep brownies for up to 7 days uncut. So I think what I'll do next time is bake them on the Wednesday, so that gives me an extra whole day. And also I feel like there were a few things that went wrong which then used time, you know, like one of my cupcakes didn't go right, so I had to throw them away. The vegan ones, I've used the recipe before, but it just went wrong. I used gluten-free flour instead of normal like vegan self-raising, and it just made them rock solid, so I didn't sell those. So that was something that I made and then didn't sell, so that would have been about £40 extra. And then there were 2 blondie trays which didn't rise. Again, it was something I did wrong. Obviously, because I'm making so much stuff, there will be the odd mistake, but everything else was perfect. It was just they didn't rise. I think it was something to do with the butter. I didn't melt it like fully to the point where it's like a full liquid. It was still a little bit lumpy, so I think that affected how it rose. But I think little bits like that affected the profit, because 2 brownie trays again is £40, so that's about £60 which I could have earned on the day, but I didn't because I had to throw them away. But obviously it's all a learning curve, and now I've got more of a plan in place. I'm definitely doing another one. I want to do a 2-day one. There were so many people asking, like, are you coming back again tomorrow, and will you be coming back, you know, again in months time? And I said I'm definitely planning to do another one. I'm not doing tomorrow because I didn't book onto it, but I think I definitely will in future. Luckily there were no bakers there on the day that I went, so I was literally the only like brownie person there, and when people walk around a market they want food. It's kind of just, it's likely to happen. People are going to get hungry when they're walking around, and then they're going to end up wanting to buy some food. They buy coffees, and because it's like chilly out, people want something to eat with their coffee. A lot of like the stall holders came up to me and said, oh, I've just bought coffee, I need something to go with it. So then they ended up buying from me as well. So I think the fact that there were no other bakers on the day that I went was also good. There was on the Sunday one baker like that did cupcakes and brownies. She didn't have as much stock as me. She had about 12 of each flavour of cupcakes, which is similar to me. I had a couple where I had 24, and then the brownies were a lot less. Like we had about 18 or so of each flavour, and there was about 7 flavours, and that's just the brownies. So I feel like I definitely picked the right day going on the Saturday. There were more people on the Sunday. There was 1,500 people on the Saturday, and there was 1,800 on the Sunday, is that right? No, 2,300. Basically over the whole weekend they said that there was 3,800 people, so yeah, 2,300 on the Sunday. So it seems like because it's a Sunday maybe people are more likely to go out, but I definitely want to do the whole weekend. It's just how I would work out the baking for both days, so I would need to figure out the logistics of that. So I think everything that I would make for Sunday would be started on Thursday, and everything made for Saturday would start on Wednesday, I think. But it's also like if I don't sell stuff, whether I can keep it to the next day and then sell it. So yeah, I need to work out the logistics of that. But if I was to say make 600, because I mean it's not as busy as it usually is because of COVID, so if I was to make say 600, if I was to sell everything, because I mean there was £80 worth of stuff which I didn't even take because it went in the bin, but if I was to take that as well, that would be 1,200 in 2 days, and it would cost me, it's £100 a day. I don't know if you get a deal for having 2 days, but it's 100 a day, and then your ingredients. So say it costs you £300 and you get 1,200 back, that's very, very good. That does pay for your time for those 2 days, but I'm happy to sort of like in my head work for free. Obviously I'm not working for free, I am getting the profit, all of it, because I'm the only like employee, but I'm not going to be charging like an hourly rate how I would normally. So yeah, that is in terms of money how it worked out. And yeah, it was just really, really good. I've probably gone off track slightly somewhere, but yeah, it was really good for exposure. Lots of people took my card like on their own accord, and then I also gave it out to some people as well. There were a couple of people who literally just walked up and said, do you make birthday cakes? And I said yes, and then they took a card. They did buy something as well, but that was kind of their main question. We had some posters with like my cakes on there so people could look at them and sort of know my standard of finish and stuff like that. So I'll show you that in the what I packed video. But yeah, it was very, very successful, and I definitely want to go again. There's quite a few markets that I've found like nearby. They're all this weekend gone or like this weekend coming, so obviously I wouldn't be doing those, but it's kind of like opened me up to see what other places are available. So I definitely want to do more. If I could do in December, like each year, just regular markets, that would be really good, because one, it is good profit, it's a lot of work. I'm not underestimating the amount of work, and like I can probably like stress that to you, because as a watcher you won't know how much work it is, but if you've done a market, it is a lot of work. I was like 7 AM until, you know, past midnight, no breaks. Like I didn't stop for lunch really. Most of the time I had like a pot noodle and that was it the whole day. And like my sister made me teas and my mum made me teas. It wasn't, you know, like the most relaxing 2 days, but it made up for it because the day was amazing, all the customers were amazing and they were so lovely. I had a couple of people who were just asking, like they were hobby bakers. Again, they did buy something, they didn't just like come up and ask, but because I obviously make these YouTube videos, I don't mind sharing. But they were like, oh, these cupcakes look amazing, what do you use to decorate it? And I said, oh, just buttercream and like a piping nozzle. And they said, oh, what one is it, like, if you don't mind? And I was like, no, it's fine. Like, I mean, I got the answer off someone else as well. Like, someone else told me what nozzle to use, and I was like, oh, it's like the 1B or 2D, or I can't remember now, but it's the Wilton nozzle that everyone uses. And they were like, oh, thank you so much. And I said, I have a YouTube channel if you want to check that out for baking tips and like decorating videos. And it was like a teenage girl that bakes as a hobby, and she was like admiring the cakes, and she was saying, oh, I'd love to do this, and I was saying, well, check it out, because you know there's loads of videos on there. There's also ones about business, so if you wanted to make it into a business, stuff like that. But yeah, there was quite a few people like that as well that were just interested in the decorating side of it, and quite a few people, I don't know what they were expecting, but a couple of people were like, did you decorate these yourself? And I was like, yeah, I didn't just like buy them from somewhere. It was all like homemade, you know. And a couple of people were like, who is Amy? Who is Amy from Sweet Things? Because it, like, the name is Sweet Things by Amy, and my mum and my sister were there, so they were trying to figure out like who owned the business, and obviously it's me. But yeah, it was really, really good. I'm hoping that I covered everything in this little reflection. Probably spoke for way too long, so I am sorry. But yeah, it was a really, really good experience, and definitely like take the risk, because I was thinking, as long as I sell enough to cover my costs, which is 150 or like £170, I was like, I'm happy, because as long as I cover that, I'm not out of pocket. All I've lost is 2 days, that's it. I haven't lost any money, which is like unfortunately the main thing, because you don't want to be out of pocket. So it would have just been like a learning experience, but then to actually make some profit is just amazing. So if you are watching this and you did come to the show, because there may be a few of you, then thank you so much, because it was really, really enjoyable for me. I absolutely loved it. I'm such a people person, and I like just chatting to people, and that's why I make these videos, because so many people say like, oh, you're so helpful, like no other bakers want to share this information and want to share like their tips and tricks. And like, I know people spend years learning this stuff, but it is so helpful, and like as a new baker it's very daunting, so I think it is just really nice to help people and not kind of just ignore their messages and make them figure it out themselves, because it can be quite daunting. So I just want to help you guys as much as possible. So I'm hoping that this vlog was useful for you guys. I know I didn't film crazy amounts throughout the day, but the main part of it was this reflection at the end, to kind of just give you an overview of the day and everything that it entails. So yeah, I hope you look forward to the other videos in terms of like what I packed and the like process of applying to do a market and all those kind of details, because they will be again very in-depth videos. So yeah, if you did like this video, please like and subscribe, and hit the bell if you want to watch the other market videos, because they will be up tomorrow, Wednesday, and then there'll be probably another video on Thursday. I think it might be an Etsy related video. So yeah, there are lots more videos coming up for Vlogmas. I'm filming every day, trying to get as much content out for you guys. So yes, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Bye!